Hi, my name is Nikki Lerzak. I'm the Instructional Services Librarian at Genesee Community College, and this is Searching in JSTOR. This tutorial is going to cover the following topics. We're going to start by looking at word choice and how important that and formatting are to searching in this database. We're going to talk about using the limits that this database offers, such as by article and using the date limit. We're going to talk about the disciplines that you can limit your searches to because you won't want to search them all, and some will definitely be more important than others. In order to get to JSTOR, from the library's homepage, we're going to go to Databases A to Z, and JSTOR is in the center column. So here's JSTOR. We're automatically put into the advanced search screen, which is the page you want to start from. And word choice, as I've said, is critical. The topic I'm interested in is World War II, and specifically the French armistice and surrender. But World War II has possibilities. Is this how people refer to it in here? Is it possible that that's what I want to use? You'll notice that I've put quotation marks around World War II. It's very important that you use quotation marks when you have multiple word searches, names, places, particular topics. Limit with those quotation marks. And you'll notice that World War II finds for me 556 articles. Now this is a big database, and I can see that those 556, while a lot, are not what I want. First off, I'm not taken straight to articles, I'm taken to book reviews. If this was a good topic, I would find actual articles, like number 7 here, way more than I would find book reviews. The small number, 556 is small, and the list that I get shows me that this is not my best word choice. The problem with this database is that it is open to whatever words the authors choose. You need to be aware of multiple choices or perhaps alternatives for your topic. Now with World War II, you can see that I've got 110,000 plus articles, up from 556. Clearly, World War II written this way is the term to use. Sometimes you'll want to try a couple different variations to see if it's what you want. And as I say, you'll notice that I go straight to articles. I no longer have reviews. I know what the right version of World War II is, but I still want my other words. You'll notice that I only have a single other box here, but that's okay because I have add a field. And I want to add 3 fields because I'm interested in France, I'm interested in armistice, and I'm interested in surrender. We're searching the full text in all of these cases. There are other choices. The item title is the other one that I would suggest besides full text. It's going to be a lot more focused because if your words are not in the title of the article, it won't be found, whereas the full text searches the entire article. So this is sort of the most general, but still a good way to search. If you get an overwhelming number of articles, then limiting by item title would be great. Abstract under normal circumstances is also good, except that this database does not have a very large percentage. In fact, it's actually quite tiny, the number of articles that have abstracts in here. So you will be not searching a large amount of this database. And searching by caption searches for the text underneath pictures. So it's essentially an image search. I would suggest strongly either the full text or the item title. I've got World War II in quotes, and since these are all single words, I don't need to worry about quotes for them. It's just that that's a phrase. And now I search. And from where before I had 110,000 plus, I now am come down to 365, and all of these words are in my search. Again, good, but I can do better. Coming back here to modify my search again, down below I've got narrow by and item type, and you can see there are 4 different types of items. The most useful one to us is article, because articles are full text articles. A review is simply a book review. An editorial is simply the opinion of an editor of a particular journal. And a pamphlet is a small publication, sometimes going to be very useful, but not generally critical. So if I'm looking for critical historical work, article is the way you want to go. Down below, I've also got narrow by discipline. You can see there are many disciplines, and in each discipline it tells you how many journal titles are associated with it, because you could limit by the entire discipline, or you could click on the plus and limit to specific titles. I don't think that that is useful for the majority of our students, so I don't recommend it. Obviously, if this is a history class that you are in, history is a given, and at 245 titles you can see why we've bought JSTOR. This is what it shines at. But I'm interested in World War II, I'm interested in France, I'm interested in their surrender and their armistice. For me, political science might also be a good choice. So think about what it is you're looking for, and you may choose different disciplines. Let's search it. And now I'm down to 122. These are all articles. They are from history journals. They are on my topic. The last way you may think about limiting your search is by date. And date is very important in this database. JSTOR goes back to the 1800s with regularity. So if your term has come up in the 1800s, then you're going to find articles from that far back. And since the 1800s, opinions, place names, and our language has changed. Be careful and make sure that you are choosing an article that's from a good date. And one way to do that would be to use a date limit. I'm interested in limiting my articles initially to the particular decade in which World War II and France's surrender occurred. So I'm going to limit to that decade and search again. Now I'm down to 12. And these are all full text articles, which is also nice about JSTOR. Though a lot of these are bibliographies, which is probably less useful to me, except I will see a list of resources I might want to look up in other places. But these 12 articles, how do they compare? What if I'm interested now in seeing, well, how have opinions changed 50 years later? So you can do a variety of different searches. Otherwise, you'll notice that our articles are sorting by relevance. It is always possible to sort and have the newest articles come to the top. If you're concerned, but you don't want to limit, you just want to make sure you're getting recent articles, you can just have it so that the newest ones come to the top. Otherwise, it automatically puts what it feels are the most relevant articles. So here I have 26 articles from that 1990 to 2000 time period. Let's say now that I thought number 2, Trenchard and Morale Bombing, the Evolution of Royal Air Force Doctrine Before World War II, sounded like a good article to me. Clicking on the title of it will bring up my article in the screen below. So here it is. And you'll notice I've got this little bar over here. And this will let me page through my article, and now I could go back as well. I can see that this article is fairly decent in length. So I can page through it, or read through it one at a time. If I thought, I can't read it now, I want to print it and take it home with me, then up here the View PDF is the way you want to go. You'll always see this screen and you'll need to proceed to the PDF. On the front page of my printout is all of the information that I will need, plus some, in order to cite this article correctly in Chicago style. And down below, here's my article. The PDF is also good because if at this point you wanted to find where are my words, in here I could look up France and see where France shows up in here. France shows up a lot, so I could go through my article looking for my terms. On the screen, you can do that here with this list of pages with search results. So here it tells me here's all the pages and the number of times my terms show up on those pages, so that if I had a 20 or 30 page article and I noticed that my terms seemed to cluster on a series of pages, I would certainly skim those pages first to see if this looks like it's a good resource for me to consider printing out and taking with me and using for a paper. You can see that page 248 seems to have the bulk of them, though there are some other pages where my words are sort of assorted. Otherwise, I've got a lot of ones. This may not be a great article for me because I don't see very high numbers here. My words are not showing up nearly as often as I might like. Seeing your words show up 10 times or 12 times tells you that your words are a much more critical part of that article. If you have any questions about searching in JSTOR, please don't hesitate to get in touch with the librarian using the Ask a Librarian page located on the library's main website.